I knew the first lady. I took care of her. With those children of yours. They were kids. Now they are big. Now one is a general. Yeah. Now he's taking care of Masukuru. But if he was not there, MUHOOZI was 12. I told you he was just 12. In that family, I had only known him 7 in 1980. The others, no, I didn't.
Wewala okulumwa ensiri nga tonnaba kwebaka mu katimbako ng'okozesa Ropa Free Mosquito Oil Repellent ojja kumusanga mu pharmacies nga Friaka ewandegeya, Spring ne Kamukea ku Wilson Road ne Mega Supermarkets opposite Old Tax Park ne Garden City. Okumanya ebisingawo ita ku noti 772 421 235 ne noti 7 noti 2 421 235 oba ku www.ropafree.com.
Papa, I'm happy to meet you.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Thank you, son. Thank you very much.
Maybe we should like to know you a little bit.
Yes. For your sake.
Yes.
Other people know me, but of course, we are talking to a big number of people.
Exactly.
So they all want to know us. So my name is Nabende Wamoto. I am an old man now. I'm approaching 68 years on January 21st.
Yes.
And I am a professional in hotel and tourism. So I trained at the Kenya Utalii College. And at that point, I was at the Kenya Utalii College from 1983 to 1986. I graduated actually the year NRM took over power in Uganda. Earlier before that, you may want to know also, in 1980 when I was a young man, you can call me the Gen Z of that time, a young man. So I was with Uganda Patriotic Movement. The party of Janet Museveni. But we were young, you know, it was just like jumping up and down, as you know, the youth. But it stayed. It became my history. I retained this as my history. So when I went to Nairobi, Museveni and his friends had gone to the bushes in Luero. So me, I went to study, and I was helped by one former popular minister. He died recently, Patrick Masetekoya. Despite I being in an opposition party, he didn't care to help me. He helped me because this was UPC government. I was in the opposition, UPM.
And he was in UPC.
He was in UPC and a very powerful minister. But he still helped me, cleared me for a scholarship, Swiss government scholarship. Some people failed. He did me a favor which I didn't deserve. But I was a Ugandan.
Yes.
And up to now, I still tell people in the government that I also served, this government, you don't need to discriminate.
To look at the parties.
Yeah, you don't need to look at the parties. Parties are just like religion. It's like culture. I cannot force an ITSO to behave like a Mugisu because he has his own culture. And when I'm in Teso and they tell me to kneel down before their cultural leader, I kneel because I'm in Teso.
Of course.
If I'm in Buganda and an opportunity strikes that I'm going to pay a visit to the Kabaka of Buganda, I will also...
You lie down?
Yeah, I lie down. Because it is prestigious.
Yes, in Baganda have a saying, Bogende Buliambwa.
Yes, Oliambwa. And it will not cost me anything if I prostrate before the Kabaka. Because first of all, I will have earned myself part of my history. So I always tell people in government that you don't need to be so strict with the parties. Because I was helped by UPC, even when I didn't support UPC. So I was telling you, in 1986, I graduated late President Museveni and his colleagues took over power in January.
Yes.
But I was lucky because the college where I trained from is still powerful up to now. We were from 50 countries in Africa. 50 countries in Africa. I have friends, some have passed on. I have friends on the whole continent, but many have died. So Liberia, Ghana, South Africa, even South Africans.
Okay.
They were not yet independent, but they were sponsoring South Africans who were living in exile. So we had them in the college.
NAIROBI.
Zambia, Malawi, Tanzania, Kenya. It was only Nigeria, I'm told, because Nigerian friends are always very stubborn. They wanted to cause a strike in that college. That college was established by the richest government in the world, Switzerland. It was supposed to be in Uganda, but because of our political purges, they transferred that opportunity to Kenya, but to take care of all African hoteliers and tourism professionals.
It still exists?
It exists. It should be a university now. That time it was a college.
Okay. It was called?
Kenya Utalii College. It's popular everywhere. All of these hotels in Mbale, these big hotels in Jinja, Nairobi, Tororo, Kampala, a very good hotel in Uganda has a Kenyan trained at Kenya Utalii College. These places you see. When I go to them resort, this one we were with in the other day. Yeah. All of them have a Kenyan or 2 or 3. Now they are young because they went to this college when I had already graduated. You know, hotel management, hotel profession favors age. When you become old, dislike, they want to do away with you. Dislike football. So you must look smart, you must look youthful, you must look vibrant. So, but I was lucky you wanted to know me. I was on duty. They have an attached hotel, 5-star hotel. It's a training hotel. You go to the college, they post you to this college, to this hotel.
Yes.
So it is the only hotel on the African continent with a very minimal payroll because the students manage it. They have about 2 managers, about 3 supervisors. The rest are lecturers and students. So I was doing my attachment in around June there, 1986. Not June, I think April or May or March. The president's family came. The president, Museveni's family, his wife, the children. Janet Museveni was 12 years. When they came to Kenya Utalii College, they were returning to Uganda from Sweden. And I was on duty with many other students. Of course, we're a group of about 40 students daily, 2 shifts. In the morning, then afternoon.
So you already knew them, or they just...
No. I didn't know them. In that family, I had only known Museveni in 1980. The others, no, I didn't. But now in this college, we bear name tags. But name tag also with your country of origin. So when she was having lunch with her kids, Janet, yes, with her kids, she seems to have gagged my name tag, and she became curious. So, but for us, we were doing our rounds. So then she asked my Kenyan colleague, so is that man? I said, no, that is our colleague, a Ugandan. He's winding up his
internship.
Yeah. It is not actually internship. It's called attachment. That one you just go. You study in the morning, you go to the hotel, the following day another group goes.
Okay.
But when it is internship, they post you to other hotels also to test their life elsewhere. So what happened was, when she was told I was a Ugandan, so she became very interested. She didn't know we are so many Ugandans, But luckily I was the one Ugandan on that day at the hotel. So she sent someone, that Kenyan, to call me up. So the man came running in Kiswahili, said, "You man, mama anaita wewe." So I said, "Which mama?" Said, "No, the president's wife." Said, "How?" Said, "No, we told her you were Ugandan. She must have checked your name tag, your tag." So I went back. She said, "So how are you?" Said, "I'm okay, mama." "So who are you?" Said, "I'm called Nabenda Wamoto." "Where do you come from?" She wanted to affirm whether what she had been told is true. So I told her I'm a Ugandan. "From where?" Said, "On the border with Kenya. I'm a Mugishu. I'm from Bali." So she became very happy. And then she says, "Let's go home." Said, "No, mama, I still have about, I have about 6 months. I shall come." So the whole college was very excited. My Ugandan colleagues on the side of the college were saying, "Oh, Wamoto is lucky. He has got the first lady. The first lady is demanding that they go to Uganda." So when I told her, "No, I will be coming, but I have 6 months to go," said, "Okay." So when I went back after my shift, those Ugandans were laughing, saying, "You are a very dull man. The woman wants you to go and you
refuse."
You refuse. I said, "No. This lady is a first lady. She would see me as a very simplistic man. If she told me to pack my bags, and then I also pack my bags, she would say, this man is not serious." I told her I still have my time here. She found me here because I came here to study. If I did not have this opportunity, she wouldn't have seen me. In my youthhood days, I thought it was easy. I didn't know about the protocol. So I thought I would go to Uganda anytime and meet this lady. Kumbe, it was not so. When I came to Uganda, I had the zeal to meet her, but the opportunity was not there. So that is what happened. But eventually, I met her after 10 years.
And she was still remembering.
She didn't remember me quickly, but when I was working at a place called Pope Paul Memorial Center in Rubaga, the Catholic headquarters. Down there is a hotel attached to the archdiocese. So I was working there. Fortunately, or unfortunately, 2 members of staff from State House came looking for accommodation at that hotel. And I was on duty. So they came with a letter. They didn't have money. They only have a letter from State House Comptroller. So I read the letter because I was not final. So I took it to my general manager. The general manager read through. He laughed. I didn't know why he was laughing. My general manager was a retired police officer, but he was now doing some work there in retirement. So being a police officer, when he read the letter, he laughed because he thought I was risking. So he said, "You want to accommodate them?" I said, "Yeah, I was seeking your permission so we can give them service." He laughed again. So when he laughed again, I became curious. But in the letter, I had seen these ladies. One was called Grace Nyakwenegura from Mbarara. Actually, was now working at the State House, but she was a former teacher, secondary school teacher. Later on, I learned she taught my wife at Mary Hill in Nyamitanga, in Mbarara. The other one was from Bunyaruguru. She's called, they are still there. She's called Scholastica Watua, a Gigisu name. So I became very curious. My heart was telling me, if you treat these people well, they might take you to the first date because you have failed. So even when my general manager was not interested, he told me eventually, he said, Simon, those people don't pay. You understand?
Yes.
Those people, they don't pay. I said, how will you demand for the money? Because you can't reach State House. You understand? And I saw sense there. So he said, but you can take a risk. You will know. It will be very hard for you to follow up the payment. Having been a police officer, he knew what protocols there. He knew you would not just walk in and then go under with your bills and then say, I've come for my money. There is no way. So I went back and I met them. They were curious to hear the answer. I think they were also desperate. They wanted our services. So then when I came back, I also told them, said management had not authorized me to give you services. Said, why? Said, no, my general manager has told me not to. Said, but why? I said, I must be honest. He has cautioned me that you people don't pay. I also told them, because I wanted them to know that we are not readily giving them accommodation and other services because we may have a problem collecting our payment. So when I told them that, I saw them losing hope. But then the other one, with the name Watua, when she had also had me called Nabende Wamoto, so she knew I was from Mugishu. But she was not a Mugishu. She actually had gotten married to Major Watua.
Who was a Mugishu?
A Mugishu major, a soldier. So soldiers at that time are not like this of today. Soldiers would marry wherever they are deployed. So I think I knew Major Watua. He was one of the first senior officers in Bugishu. The one of Wimpy. That Wimpy, you know?
Yes.
His daughter was even RCC here. Pamela Watua. So that Watua is now deceased. He died. But everyone of my age knew him. Because when they were overthrowing Obote, he's the one who covered Mbale town. That Major Watua. They wanted to ban Mbale. He covered it because he's from Bugishu. This Mbale city, where you are sitting, has survived 2 times from getting banned. Watua saved it when they were overthrowing Obote one. And Major Mitiero, another major from up here, also saved it when they were overthrowing Obote too. Again, they wanted to ban this city.
So these people, as they were being chased,
yes,
they are the ones who wanted to ban it.
Kirama, Lieutenant Colonel Kirama, was a brigade commander. His headquarters were here.
Yes.
Here, where you see Uganda Wildlife Authority. That office there. That is where there was a brigade headquarters. Major Mitiero was a commanding officer in Bugema. So one was senior to the other. Kirama was a northerner. And their government is being overthrown. So in anger, they wanted to loot and set the town on fire. So Mitiero, being a son of the soil again, covered Mbale. Covering means you turn against your colleagues. You even turn against the command structure. Even when the other one was senior to him, he said, no, we cannot destroy Mbale. He even took commandeered, we call it commandeering. He commandeered his helicopter. Mitiero commandeered his brigade commander's helicopter and landed it at home in his father's compound, up there. He knew that Kirama would not burn the town now because he has no helicopter to flee, to make him flee. So, but Kirama still in anger. When he saw the chopper going up, he simply asked it again, who is taking that one? He said, Major Mtiara has taken it away, has taken it over. So still Kirama turned back, came and looted coffee wagons at the railway station. Coffee. He took some wagons of coffee and burned this market. This market?
Bali main market?
Yeah, Bali main market. Kirama set it on fire. That time it was a Bisampa. You know Bisampa?
Biwempe.
Biwempe, like the ones you see in the periphery there. He set it on fire. He didn't just go away. So he burned this market, part of this market.
People did die?
No, people did not die. You know, when there is a takeover, people normally go away.
Or they run away from cities.
They run away from towns. And they ignore the merchandise. Yes. They just leave and they say, if they take, they take. If they don't, we shall come back. So people did not die, but the merchandise was banned.
So you're taking us back to Watua.
Yeah. Now I have finished Watua. Watua at now the lady, when she heard my names, she got interested because her husband was over here. So I also asked her, you are scholastic Watua? She said, yes. How? You are talking a language of that place? Then she said, no. My husband, do you know Major Watua? I said, yeah. No one does not know Watua in Bugishu. Everyone knows Watua. Said, yeah, that was, I have a daughter with you, Bagishu. So she was married to Major Watua. And
that daughter is Pamela Watua?
No. I think Pamela Watua is of another lady. Okay. So what happened was, we are yet to ask, but I think Pamela is of the mother who is here. It's not the other one. Okay. So what happened now was, I took a risk. Because the general manager had told me, you take your own risk. So for me, I ignored the bad side of payment. I wanted these people, if I treat them well, they might help me.
And get the opportunity. Because that same scholastic Watua was working at the State House, but attached to the First Lady. Oh. Now the other one, my wife's former teacher, was working at the State House, but attached to the president. So they were from one office, but two different persons. So I gave them, I ordered the receptionist to book them. I took my risk. Yes.
So they booked them. They didn't leave their bags. I think they went back to say that they had been given accommodation. We had accepted the letter from the State House Comptroller. That time he was called Katana, the late Katana. So what happened? They drove back in the evening at 7. So they came back. They found me still working, because I would work up to about 10 p.m. So they were saying, hey, you work the whole day, you man. I said, yeah. So they took their bags in their rooms, and then they came back for supper. So I had my supper with them, and I joked while we were having supper.
Yes.
I joked. I said, we help you people from big offices, but we hear you don't help. I think that is why my general manager warned me. Because surely if we help you, why do you want us to come to demand for money? Why can't you just go pick the money and come and pay and then continue to consume other services? If you stay here for a week or two, go tell your superiors to pay some money, then you continue.
Yes.
We don't need to go there and
request for
ask
the money.
for money. So they said, no, we are going to do that. And then I told them that we are told you are not helpful. That is what we know.
Yes.
So this other stubborn one, the one who was Watua's wife, was laughing and said, but why do you say that? Said, no, you know, I wanted to see Madam President, the First Lady, but I have failed to see her. Said, why do you want to see her? Said, no, I know her. Said, where did you know her from? I was now engaging them.
Yes, you're bringing the opportunity closer.
The opportunity, very, very close.
Yes.
They thought I was just an opportunist.
Yes.
I told them now, I knew that lady before you even knew her as a first lady.
Yes.
Maybe you knew her as a lady, but not a first lady. I saw the first lady before all of you when she was returning from her exile.
Yes.
And I told them, I also want to tell you that she even got stuck in Kenya because her husband refused to send a jet to pick the family. That time he was a man full of nationalism. He said he cannot send a jet. The jet which Amin had bought, it was still there.
That's misusing the funds.
Misusing. That, for him, he said, I cannot send a jet to go and pick only one family when so many Ugandans are stranded out there.
Okay.
You know, the first culprit of a takeover is the airport. They close the airports.
Yes.
Then they close the borders. So there would be no commercial flights. So when the first family landed in Kenya, the Kenyan government thought that even when the international airport had been closed, the husband will send a jet to pick his family. The man refused. He said, let them wait like other Ugandans. So, Kenyans loved Museveni at that time. In fact, they drove a wage, a bad wage, a sharp wage between Museveni and Boy, the former president of Kenya. Because they would applaud Museveni if he visited Kenya
More than
they did with their own president. They would call out loudly and say, Mzee, you come, kuja hata uongoze na hata hapa. You come and even lead us here. Especially when he refused to send transport to pick his family. Said, Uganda has got a very good person. Refusing even to pick your own family is going to manage Uganda. So it was a good story, but I think he wanted to make political ground. He wanted to show the world that he had come for a good cause for Uganda. So that is what happened, my son. So when I told these ladies that I knew the first lady, I took care of her with those children of yours. They were kids. Now they are big. Now one is a general. Yeah. Now he's taking care of Mazukuru. But if he was not there, because he was 12. I told you he was just 12. Even when he said he wanted to be the president, I said, no, you wait, I die. Mzee cannot rule me. And then you also, when I breastfed you, I wrote in the monitor, that article, I said, no, you leave. You lead my sons and daughters.
Not me.
Not me. You give me a chance. Let me be led by your father alone. So what happened was I had attempted, because the industry here had fallen, we were training, but the industry was not working well because of the wars, because of takeovers.
The hotel industry.
You know, the hotel industry is a very cowardly industry. It moves where there is peace.
Yes. When
there is no peace, even just rumors, people cancel bookings.
Oh.
It is like that. That is even when you hear that the just has landslides. If people had booked in Bali Resort, Mount Elgon Hotel,
they cancel.
They cancel, yes.
because their government tell them,
hold on,
don't go to that place. If you want to go to Uganda, then you should cancel all the bookings in Eastern and maybe book elsewhere. So that is what this industry is all about. It survives because of peace. It's made out of peace. So what happened was, I wanted to stay in Kenya a little. I wanted to get a worker permit and get a job there. At that time, Kenya was very explosive in tourism. And by the time I left Kenya, Kenya was getting 1 million tourists a year. 1 million, 1986. So Kenya is rich because tourism made it very rich.
Yes.
Now, employers from hotels and tourism companies or to come to the college when we were about to graduate to interview people from there. So they would give you jobs even without looking for jobs there. So for me, they gave me a job, but I could not work because I didn't have a worker permit.
Oh. And it was difficult to get a one?
I tried.
Okay.
I tried to get a permit, but they refused
to give you.
Government is the one which gives you a worker permit. Even when a hotel or a tour company has given you a job, you can't start working unless you have a worker permit
from the government.
So I had known Moi because we were in the wildlife clubs of Kenya at the branch at the college. I was the vice chairman. The Kenyan was the chairman. So they were poaching a lot of animals in Kenya. And they had almost wiped away, just like they did here, the rhinoceros. You know the rhinoceros?
Yes, I know.
Yes. The rhinoceros, they killed it because of that small horn.
On the head here?
On the head here. It's very small. It's just 1 kilo. But they kill an animal of over 1,000 tons. And they pick only one horn. So they had almost wiped them away. And Moi had to make a plea to a fundraising for these animals, for the whole country. So whatever you had, you fundraise. So my chairman was very, very creative. He was a relative of the principal. So he brought in a very good idea because students don't have money. But now this chairman, he called us in the meeting of the Wildlife Club members, the executive, with the leaders of the Wildlife Club, the branch at the college. So he said, men and women, we have to do something about the rhinoceros. The president wants us to raise as much money as possible to make sure we protect these animals. So we must also do a fundraising as a wildlife club branch. We said, but where do we get the money? He said, no, listen until I finish. So he said, we take five meals a day. Breakfast, break tea, lunch, evening tea, and dinner. 5 services a day. So we want to resolve at this meeting so that we take our resolution to the principal that we have offered 2 of our services daily for 2 weeks. And they convert that money to us so that we take it and hand it over to the president. We shall choose by ourselves which services we forego. Says, oh, this is a wonderful idea. If we don't take lunch, if we don't take breakfast today, we take all the other services. Breakfast, break tea, lunch, evening tea, and supper. The money for breakfast is converted. The following day, we take breakfast, we take break tea, we forego lunch, we take evening tea and dinner. They convert this money and give it to us. For 2 weeks, we have offered to do that. So this man, because he was a relative of the principal, he took the resolution there and say, the students have agreed that we forego a service, one service every day for 2 weeks. And the college brings, because the college does food costing, we were even being trained in how to cost food. So every service, they knew how much went there. So they just converted this man and put it somewhere aside.
So the whole students or only students in the class?
No, when the idea was sold to the whole student community, it was good, very good, because this is our industry. And the idea is so good. The only struggle now was that it was going to be a big struggle when the choosing, the selection of those who are going to see the president.
Yes.
So they would all want to struggle to go. But the principal ruled that it is only the student leadership and the wildlife clubs of Kenya branch and administrators who would go and hand over the money. So the college was so excited that they also said, on top of the money for offset from the food, the college must also put money aside to top up. Actually, the college put more money than us because they had to go with us. We can't go alone. We must go with the administrators. But when I was there, I was the only foreigner. All the others were Kenyans. So I was the only foreigner. I was the Ugandan. So when they were doing introductions, they said this man is called Nabendo Wamoto. He's from Uganda. Moi did not like Ugandans. But me, I was now a student. And now we are going to deliver money to him. So he cannot hate a Ugandan. Instead, he got happy and said, oh, a Ugandan, you in Uganda? He said, yes, because me, I know Swahili. So he said, so when are you going back to your country? He said, I still have 1 year here. He said, we are happy that you are part of the animals that are being wiped out. So we shall also help you. But you must go home and work. Now, my principal wrote to him when I needed a worker permit. He thought because they had talked about me in his presence, the president would
reconsider,
order immigration department to give me a worker permit, maybe for only 1 year. But he replied. He replied to the principal, said we appreciate Wamoto's efforts. He helped us to fundraise the money. He delivered the money with his Kenyan colleagues to me. But Uganda needs him more than us, because for us we have a lot of manpower. And I was also told, more now writing, that this man took care of their first lady. So he stands a big chance at home in Uganda than in Kenya. So it is like he deported me diplomatically. So that letter, because it came to the principal, they gave me a photocopy. So I came with that photocopy. But it was now wearing out. It was faint. So when I told these two women who had come to Bob Paul Memorial Center, they said, no, you are joking. You know, madam? Said, yes, I know, madam. What shows? Said, no, I even have a letter at home. She even cost me a job in Kenya. They refused to give me a job because I had known her. So I stand better chances here. Said, do you have the other letter? Said, yes. In my heart, I was saying, but I think I have that copy. But I was not sure. But I had a briefcase, and I knew I had put many of my documents there. My heart was telling me, that letter must be there. So when I went home in the night, the first thing I did was to check my briefcase. And luckily I found the copy.
Okay.
It was still readable. It could be readable. So I said, aha, I've got these women. So in the morning, when I was going back to work, I photocopied. I said, I can't give them the whole paper.
Yes.
Because they can lose it. And I remain with nothing. So I photocopied and I went with it. I found they had gone back and they had gone to work. So I waited for them in the evening. When they came again, the first thing the other lady did was to ask me, so Simon, where's the other letter? I said, no, the letter is there. So they went back to their rooms, they changed, they came back for supper. So when they were having supper, she asked me again.
Where's the letter?
Where's the letter? So I brought out my envelope and I gave her the letter. She read. She was very surprised. When she was reading, that is called a sticker watua. She was looking at her friend. Just reading, but looking. She didn't know that I was also watching her. So when she read down in there, almost the second last paragraph, where President Moi talked about the first lady, even mentioned her name, Mrs. Janet Museveni, she laughed. So she told the other one in their language. I don't know what she said, but this one was curious, also wanted to read the letter. But they were eating. So when this one finished, gave this other one.
She was reading silently.
Reading silently, but smiling and looking at the other one. So when she finished, she gave the other one. She also read. So when they finished now reading, both of them said, but you man, what are you? I said, no, I'm Munabendo Wamoto. I told you I took care of
The first
your boss. You know, for us in this industry, we don't get money, but we get people.
Yes.
Yes, we get people. Do you know that I have taken care of about 5 presidents?
Sure.
Said, well, yeah, that was that time. But I had taken many more later. So, even Museveni found me in the hotels.
Let's first finish it.
So, they said, Scholastica said, let us take this letter to the first lady. I said, no problem. You take. Said, so you want to see how when? He said, no, me I can't determine.
She's the one.
Don't excite me. You thought I was telling you, I have now told you, shown you the evidence there. So they took the letter. But I knew, those people, they tell me they are just like that.
So did you remain with their contact or they took it?
I was coming there.
Okay.
I remained with their contacts, but I resigned this job. I left this job. Now, a friend of mine I had been at the college with was also working in Kampala, but he had got a very good job in Imbarara. The father of Senyonyi.
Senyonyi?
Joel Senyonyi.
Okay.
Joel Senyonyi, the leader of opposition in Parliament. That young man of Nakawa.
What's the name of his father?
He was also called Senyonyi, Joseph Besegesi. So he had got a job in Imbarara. He had put in his notice. He had put, I think, 2 months notice. So for me, he had that I had actually resigned from the other job because he used to come there to see me. So that is, these phones were not there, these mobile phones. So he didn't know how to find me. Yes. But what happened was he attempted, I had given him my neighbor's desk phone.
Yes.
So he called on that desk phone and said, I wanted to see my friend Simon Wamoto. It was a Sunday. So they sent a child to my house, and the neighbors told the boy that Wamoto has gone for prayer.
Okay,
Sunday.
Let's start from there.